The luxury boutique gleamed under soft golden lights, every marble tile polished to perfection. It was the kind of place where employees whispered rather than spoke, and where the price tags were hidden because anyone who asked couldn't afford it anyway. A young woman stepped inside quietly, almost unnoticed. She wore a simple black coat, no flashy jewelry, no designer bag, just calm confidence in her stride. Her name was Alicia Reed. To most people, she looked like an ordinary woman on an ordinary day. But she wasn't ordinary. She was the newly appointed CEO of Myriad International, the company that owned this entire chain of luxury boutiques across the country. The board had announced her promotion only hours earlier, and she had decided to visit one of the stores anonymously, just to observe, just to see how her people treated customers. The bell chimed as she walked in. A few customers turned, examined her for only a second, and then went back to browsing. But one person didn't look away: the store manager, Calvin. He was tall, sharp, impeccably dressed, and carried himself like the world belonged to him. He scanned Alicia from head to toe, his lip curling ever so slightly, as if her presence contaminated his elite environment. She smiled politely. He did not smile back. "Can I help you?" he asked stiffly, emphasizing the help in a way that told her he didn't think she should be here. "Yes, I'm looking for a gift," Alicia said softly. Calvin nodded, his expression amused. "For someone special." His tone dripped with condescension, and he glanced at her plain coat again. She didn't react. She simply kept smiling. He led her toward a display case, but as they walked he muttered something under his breath, something he was certain she wouldn't understand. Jinshigapurin. Jinshigapurin. What a event. A quiet insult, spoken in Mandarin, delivered with a smirk. He didn't know Alicia spent 4 years working in Shanghai. He didn't know she negotiated billion-dollar deals in flawless Mandarin. He didn't know she could understand every syllable of the disrespect he just threw at her. But she knew, and she heard it. Alicia's step slowed, but she didn't stop. Her eyes softened not with anger, but with disappointment. She wanted to see how far he would go. Calvin continued talking, pretending to be helpful. "This section might be more within your budget," he said loudly as a couple walked past. Trying to embarrass her, to salesgirls nearby exchanged awkward glances but said nothing. They were used to this. Calvin always judged customers, especially black customers, assuming they couldn't afford anything. Alicia picked up a delicate necklace. "This is beautiful," she said. Calvin snorted. "Yes, well, it's one of our premium pieces. Maybe look at something simpler?" A man across the store raised an eyebrow. A few customers were starting to watch. Alicia placed the necklace down gently. "Do you treat all women this way?" she asked softly. "Or just the ones who look like me?" Calvin's expression hardened. "Ma'am, I'm only trying to guide you." "Guide me," she repeated, tilting her head. "Into what, exactly?" He folded his arms. "Look, if you can't afford our products, just say so. It'll save us both time." A hush fell over the boutique. Even the soft music in the background felt like it stopped. One of the salesgirls stepped forward timidly. "Calvin, maybe let someone else." He raised a hand sharply. "I'm the manager. I know how to handle situations like this." "Situations like this?" Like her. Alicia took a slow breath, then smiled gently. "All right," she said. "Then handle this." She switched languages with the fluid ease of someone who had spoken it for years. "Ni gansai sho wa shishama? No, purenma, ni jenkai shu w shushen. Purenma. What did you just call me?" "A servant." The sound of Mandarin in her voice hit the room like a thunderclap. Every head turned, every eye widened, every breath caught. Calvin froze. His skin went pale, his jaw dropped, his hands trembled. "You speak Mandarin," he gasped. She stepped closer, her expression calm yet powerful. "I don't just speak it," she said gently. "I negotiated the Myriad merger entirely in Mandarin. Maybe you've heard of it." Calvin blinked rapidly. Of course he had. That merger made headlines for weeks. I didn't mean," he stammered. "Yes, you did," she replied softly. "You meant every word. You just didn't expect me to understand." The room went completely silent. The salesgirls stared at her like she had just revealed she could fly. One whispered, "She speaks perfect Mandarin." Another said, "Calvin is dead." Alicia reached into her coat and pulled out a small black card-sleek minimalist, with one silver emblem in the center, the CEO card. She handed it to Calvin. His hands shook so violently he dropped it. A customer gasped, another covered their mouth. Someone whispered, "No way." Calvin scrambled to pick it up, staring at the emblem as if it were a glowing weapon. This can't be real," he whispered. "It's very real," Alicia replied. "I was announced as the new CEO this morning. I came here in person to see how customers are treated." She met his eyes, calm, steady, unshakable, and now I see. Calvin's entire face drained of color. "Ms. Reed, I'm so sorry. Please." "I didn't." She raised her hand gently. "Stop." Her voice wasn't loud, it wasn't angry, it was simply final. "This store prides itself on luxury," she said quietly. "But true luxury isn't marble floors or gold lighting. It's how we treat people." Calvin's eyes filled with panic. "Please just give me one more chance." "I didn't know who you were." Alicia stepped back, giving him one last look. "That's exactly the problem," she whispered. You shouldn't treat people based on who you think they are. Then she turned to the sales girls. You two have been polite. You'll be recommended for training advancement. Their eyes lit up with shock and gratitude. Finally, she faced Calvin again. You, she said softly, are dismissed. Effective immediately. It felt like the whole world inhaled at once. Calvin staggered back. Ms. Reed, please. His voice was barely a whisper, but she was already walking away. The bell chimed again. As she stepped outside into the sunlight, her coat fluttering behind her like a quiet declaration of victory. Inside, the boutique burst into whispers and stunned chatter. The woman everyone dismissed. The woman they underestimated. The woman they insulted. She owned the whole building. And as she walked down the street, her phone buzzed. A message from the board. Congratulations, CEO Reed. The world is watching. She smiled. They can watch, she whispered. But they're going to learn too. And she kept walking head high, steps calm, carrying the quiet power of someone who had nothing to prove, yet proved everything.